going into this fight, fighting under my big brother undercard, me and Shakur been talking about this for years, man. Me and Shakur been talking about this before he even went to the Olympics, And now that we actually living it out, it's really is for both of us. It's like a dream come true. It's a dream come true, and I really just can't wait to experience it throughout the week, and put on a hell of a performance right before my brother do.
I was just wondering if you could, kind of explain to us your ambition, because some of the fighters that I've been told you're looking to fight just a few fights into your career would be, pretty significant steps up for a fighter of your experience. Can you tell us about your ambition in general and what type of fast track you feel you might be on here?
Of course, we all know I'm on a fast track, but I don't really want to move too fast, honestly. I feel like as of now, like, yes, I have the skill and the ability, to be a lot of these fighters now, maybe some champions, but how I'm thinking right now as a business, honestly, I rather just, not rather, but I want to build myself first as a fighter. I want more people tuned into me, and I just want, just a bigger fan base for myself. Just so, like when I do get to that big world title fight, or that fight to get me to the world title fight, I'm already, a star, or at least close to it. And I just don't want to move too fast, because this is a long career. And, once you get to that peak level, is no turning backwards. So I just want to keep developing my skill, keep developing my craft, keep learning the business of boxing, and just, taking every single fight, so I can just learn from it and just keep getting better. But I don't want to move too fast.
So I wanted to ask, first of all, obviously you were a highly decorated amateur who's made the transition over to the pro ranks. What have you found to be the biggest adjustment that you've needed to make sort of stylistically to turn from amateur to pro?
Not so much adjustments of my style, but I would say just me being more consistent of the good things that I do. Being alongside Bo Mack and Terrence Crawford in the experienced camp, they just showed me how much I gotta be consistent with my jab. They showed me how much I gotta be consistent with staying in my rhythm. They showed me how much being consistent of sticking really to the game plan. Because I was a fighter where things have worked so good for me that I just want to start beating guys up, and I kind of like stray away from the game plan, even though it still worked for me and I'm talented enough to do so. Bo Mack and the crew just keep reminding me of, no, Keyshawn, because when you get to these 12 round, 10 rounders, sometimes 8 rounders, the game plan, you always got to stick to your game plan and just be consistent on what's working. And they always say, don't ever let your talent carry over the game plan, So they just really taught me just staying consistent and, staying focused and locked in on what we got to do.
Are there any fighters that you sort of take inspiration from, or have tried to emulate, maybe like idols of yours that you're sort of carrying with you and trying to sort of follow in their footsteps?
Shout out Shakur. Shakur took my level to the next level since an amateur, going into the Olympics, coming pro. Like, I always tell Shakur, like, since my debut, Shakur just telling me how great and how much of, a pro I already looked. But I was telling Shakur, I said, Shakur, I copied your whole blueprint and I put it into my own, you know what I'm saying? So I like to, just shout out Shakur. Like, a lot of things that I do now, I learned off of Shakur, because I was always around him and he was the first person to do it. And if he did things right, I try to do things better. If he did things wrong, I try to make it right. And I just copied a lot of things that he did. But another person that Bob Arum brought to my attention after my top ranked debut, I shook Bob Arum's hand. He called me over and he said, man, you remind me of a young Sugar Ray Leonard. So honestly, ever since he said that, I started watching a lot of Sugar Ray, started watching how he speak, how he carry himself, and how he fight. And now, I'm not trying to, but, I'm taking things from him now and, just trying to get better as I move forward.
When I look at you and I look at Shakur, I see a lot of similarities. Both are silver Olympic medalists. And like you said that you copy his blueprint. Now with this fight that Shakur is having, he's fighting someone that was a world champion when he made his pro debut. Is there any champions out there around your weight class that you look at them and you say, this is gonna be my breakthrough fight? Because we've seen that with Shakur, like for 4 years already, he has been calling Oscar Valdez, and it looked like he always had in his mind that the Oscar Valdez fight, it was the fight that was going to take him to the next level. So is there any champion that you look at him and you're like, maybe in the future, that's the fight that is gonna become me, that is going to help me become a pay-per-view star?
To answer that question, the only person I honestly see in the 135 division that is, I feel like it's going to be a pay-per-view massive fight, and I can say this now. I really feel like me and Gervonta Davis is going to be a massive fight in the future. Everybody else is like, I don't really know where they're going to fall at. I don't know where they're going to end up at, but I know Gervonta Davis is going to be at 135 for a long time, and it's a Davis, and he is a star already, and I know for a fact I'm gonna become a star as well as he is, and it's just gonna sell. The fight just gonna sell. Our last name is Davis. We both come from, you know, we both come from that area, and I just feel like our fighting styles is just gonna make a great fight out of it, and honestly, I just can't wait till I get to that level to put on these great fights for these fans. But like I said before, I'm not rushing it. Bob Arum in the top rank knows what they doing with me. I'm not really out here looking forward to calling anybody out. I'm not out here looking forward to fighting none of these current world champions right now, because when I get to that level, there's no telling who's going to be champion or not. As we've seen, Tiafimo just lost to Cambosis, and who would have guessed that? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just staying in my lane. I'm doing what the businessman do. And I'm just, staying focused on what I have to accomplish. I'm not really too much worried about the champions and who they are now, because I know who I am and I know who I'm going to become.
Keyshawn Davis, when we're listening to you, I'm going to piggyback what Bob Arum said, that you are one of the most incredibly humble fighters that we've come across in a very long time, especially coming into the pro debut. For people who don't know you or don't know your style, can you describe yourself and give me 5 things that describe you?
I'm aggressive. No, first things first. I love putting on performances. I'm an aggressive fighter. I don't like getting hit. I want to knock you out, and I'm going to have fun doing it.
Keyshawn, you've already fought on some pretty big stages in your career. 2 Canelo Alvarez cards. Evan already mentioned the Loma Comey card. Do you think that this is your biggest stage yet, though?
I just feel like it potentially, yes, it could be, depending on how the fight's going to turn out. Speaking of Shakur and Oscar Valdez, this can be a legendary fight. This can go down as a legendary fight, and it definitely can live up to a Canelo Alvarez fight. Or Jamel Herring had a great Dubai fight when he fought Carl Frampton. I also got a chance to fight on that undercard. But potentially, of course, I think this could be one of the, like I said, a legendary fight. It can go down in history. And I'm just happy to be just a co-main event up there, like little old Keyshawn, going to 8-rounder. Like I said, I just want to enjoy the moments, man. Put on a great performance right before my brother Shakur does.